Hello and welcome to another episode of Boca Moka. My name is Christopher, and we're in studio today with Griff as well. So how are you doing today, Griff?
I'm doing just fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Oh, our wonderful box is back.
Our box.
Our box.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
get that on the next segment.
The face finder box is going to be a mascot in its own right.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, white box.
I love it.
So today we're actually going to be talking about the most hot topic out there is photographers using AI and how we can actually use AI to benefit us. There are some people like myself, none of my finished products have AI in them. Everything that I do is all just straight from camera or creation that I have made from the merging multiple photos together into one to create the artwork instead of having AI create something.
So a composite.
Thank you.
Yep.
So, but we were talking in off a site before that we can use AI as a supporting function to be able to help with like editing or being able to look at things where it's not doing the edits, but it's actually teaching us more of what people can see, correct?
It's more of a feedback thing than it is, kind of thing. Because, I mean, you guys know, and you guys should really see our Boca Moka chat channel on Facebook, where we organize all of these ideas and whatnot. A lot of times we're also sending photos to each other to just kind of get feedback on what it is, but some people don't really have that resource per se to hand an image to somebody and get like an analysis back on it. So again, like Chris stated, we're not using AI to generate anything. We're not using it to actually do the edits. We are doing this mostly as a kind of a feedback loop, a kind of support system, I guess, kind of thing. And I should preface this idea for this episode came from a UK photographer that I absolutely love. His name is Sean Tucker, and I want to give him credit. Awesome. The idea came from him because he put out a YouTube video where he fed his photos into Chat GPT to get feedback analysis on what it is, and that's basically where this experiment comes from. So, we're giving credit where credit's due, real quick as well.
And we've talked about that. Like I myself will use AI. Like I'll take a finished photo and be able to go to AI and say, "What can I do to make this better?"
Yep.
And not just what can I edit to make this better, but what can I do as a photographer to make this better? And it really kind of has this point where there was one photo I remember I took to Gemini. And I think we're going to be talking about different AI platforms.
Right.
One's not better than the other. They all have their kind of learning capabilities. We also should take definite note of saying, if you upload any photo to an AI system, you are authorizing it to use that photo.
Yep. And
if you're wanting to sell the photo or do anything with it, just be aware that the AI system is not protected. As if like you upload it to a website like DP Challenge or something like that, where you retain 100% rights.
Yep.
So be weary when you're working with this. It could actually help you and hinder you in places. So we should put that out before we get started.
And so the photos that we've selected for this particular episode are ones that we don't necessarily care about.
Correct.
We're just using this as a basis template for seeing what AI looks for and it's I guess kind of thing, because there is something that I noticed when I did like a couple of tests on this. AI really does not like watermarks. It really despises watermarks because it doesn't know what to do with them. So.
And things like Gemini, if you say, how do I make this photo look better? Or show me how to make this photo look better, it will add its own watermark to it as if it created that image. Even though all it's doing is changing some of the settings, it then stamps itself onto it because it did work. So be extra careful when you're working with AI. This isn't the answer to all. And there are paid for subscriptions out there. We're not going to talk about too much of the paid for subscriptions. I know that there's add-ons to Photoshop. There's add-ons like Topaz is one of them that does a lot of work with depixelization and clarity. Those ones aren't really what we're talking about when we talk about AI, because those are very specific automated tools.
We're going more for the and this is where like kind of the dichotomy is going to come into, because you know, when you compare Chris and I together, like I'm definitely more on the art standpoint of photography, and you're more on the technical standpoint of this. And AI, at least for the most part, at least in some of my test rounds that I did before filming this episode, is that it's looking at it more on an analytical standpoint than it is on that. So,
and for that effect, you sent a picture to our group chat that I commented was soft. But artistically, it needed to be soft in order for what your vision was to work. You put that into AI, the very first thing it's going to say, it's out of focus. Be a better focus, because it's very analytical, very binary on its numbers for what's good and what's not good.
And we honestly might even use that shot too. I think maybe possibly, I don't know. I might change what I've set aside for the shots.
That might be actually kind of fun to be able to work with for that. But so we've uploaded a few things to the iPad, and we're going to get to show the audience like what we did before. We're going to stream it from the iPad so everyone can see what we're working on. And I think that this is going to be a great episode for today. Yeah,
I'm excited. So, and again, shout out to Sean Tucker in the UK for the idea behind this. And if you and I'll promo him too. Go follow him if you want to, because a lot of my street photography stuff is based around what he teaches and whatnot too. So, like, if I could talk to anybody about photography, I would try to like talk with him about photography. So
that's fantastic. And that's one of the wonderful things about the photography world is we might be more knowledgeable than somebody else, but there's always going to be someone more knowledgeable than us that we're constantly learning from. And I absolutely love it. But I think we'll take a quick break here, and after this commercial break, we're going to go just jump right into some photos with AI.
Excellent.
And we're back. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us here on the 13th episode.
Ooh, lucky number 13.
I almost said 17th episode. We're not in the 17th yet, but we're coming up to it.
We're getting there.
But the 13th episode of Boca Moka here. And Griff, we've got some AI stuff that we're going to do today. So go ahead and give us some information on that.
All right. So what we're basically going to do is I picked out a couple of photos that... or at least I have in mind a couple of photos that we're going to feed into Chat GPT to give us just a cold analysis of the photo itself from a technical standpoint. And it's going to give us some feedback on what can we do to improve it, what can we do to maybe in our editing process and everything like that. And it's basically going to, and again, like it has its own taste versus human taste, if you will, kind of thing. So,
and to be fair, human taste is by each person. Your taste differs from my taste.
It's true.
Differs from Abigail's taste. Differs from Brooke, who was here a few episodes back. We all have a different style of what we want to it. And AI, I think, really is just very... I don't want to say the word basic, but it's basic on its understanding of what photography is. I mean, we've got is it clear? Is it color corrected? Is it exposed correctly? Is the subject easy to identify? If it matches all four of those, then the computer says, great picture, you did a good job. If something's not there, it's, you can do better here. And at least that's what my experience is with it.
So we'll go ahead and switch over to my iPad view here real quick. And already I've got it prompted here. I've got a shot that and I had to like tell ChatGPT because I was doing a little bit of experimenting with this beforehand, and ChatGPT now remembers some of my stuff, and I wanted to do just a cold analysis, no prior first contact kind of reading, so I have to tell it to do that instead of, because now it's like now it knows my kind of style in a way and whatnot and whatnot. So it might get a little personal. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. But this is a shot. It's definitely an underexposed shot of a. I took my son out to do a little bit of street photography in our little cul-de-sac that we have there, and it has there's like this limestone rectory building for a church, and I really liked the way that the light is the street light is playing on the building there. So we're going to go ahead and tell it. We're going to go ahead and upload it, and we're going to read what it does.
Now, we are using Chat GPT over this versus Gemini.
Yeah, this is Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So.
And again, oh, look at that. It thought for 7 seconds.
Yep. Had to think for 7 seconds.
Wow.
This is a nighttime blue hour photo of an older stone or brick building, likely residential or institutional. The brightest feature is the street light at the upper left, causing starburst flare and slight glow. The building face is underexposed, with warm light spilling on the wall and heavy shadow on the right. No obvious person, animal, vehicle, aircraft, or anomalous object is visible. Man, you're using big words there, ChatGPT.
Wow.
The thin vertical rods of the roof look like lighting rods, antenna points. The dark line near the gable appears to be a cable or wire. Image quality suggests a phone camera in low light.
Was it right?
It was not right. It was on my baby. It was on Ira, which is the name that I gave my camera. Any strange shapes in the windows or shadows would be unreliable without brighter original close crop.
So I'm assuming strange shapes and anonymous objects are some of your previous search history capabilities.
I don't know, maybe. I don't remember any sort of strange shapes or anomalies or anything.
Are you looking for UFOs?
No.
Okay.
I know the truth is out there, though, Scully. All right. So what we could do now is we could tell ChatGPT this, like, we could tell it, like, this is actually from a professional camera, you jerk. And how would you use, or how what can be improved on this shot? Maybe
that would be kind of my thought process now, because you got your cold analysis, which is great because it shows that okay, this is the base deal, and really it is nice to be able to get confirmation from that as well on the fact of it saying the brightest points versus the windows, things of that nature. But let's see what ChatGPT says about analysis.
All right. So a few things stand out technically and compositionally. Exposure. The streetlight is blown out and dominates the frame. The building facade is too dark, so texture detail gets locked. Use lower exposure compensation around -1 EV, then raise the shadows later in editing. Night mode on phones can also help if the camera stays stable. Composition. The bright lamp pulls the attention away from the building. The building is cropped tightly and slightly awkward to the right side. Fix. Either center the building more symmetrically or fully commit to the lamp as a compositional element with more negative space. Vertical lines lead slightly due to upward camera angle. Here's the thing, like the street lamp and the building are not symmetrical. Like the street lamp leans a little bit more kind of thing. So like that's an in real life kind of thing.
Well, then you better go out there and repair the street lamp.
I know, right? So the scene is a mix of color temperatures, cool blue ambient sky with warm sodium LED spill. This can work artistically, but here it feels accidental. Okay, that's a little rude.
So in other words, again, like we were saying with the AI, it's very binary on its capability.
Yep. So let me pull up the actual image here real quick and see about, where are you? We're just gonna move you along to right. Where did you go? Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Oh, that's a good picture that's on there now.
Yeah, this is this one is going going to be my next 5-state submission. So,
there we go.
Let's just pull up.
So for those of you who just got through there, lizard.
Boy, I need to find where the hell I even saved this thing. That's the big thing, isn't it? Here it is. So that's the actual image. And yes, it is underexposed, but that's also kind of the mood that I was going for as well too, kind of thing. And I mean, like,
you can definitely see that the power pull is off a little bit.
It is
naturally.
So, but yeah, and the other thing too, like, it's also cutting it off on the screen here, but like there is the lamp that is blown out right there, which it is correct in that regard. And maybe what I could do is maybe crop in a little bit more or something along those lines. But yeah, the scene actually suits liminal photography, analog horror aesthetic, gothic urban isolation, and mood, which is a little bit more of what I was going for.
Yeah.
Adding one element would strengthen the narrative: a silhouetted person in a lit window, fog and rain, stronger sky texture, reflections, and wet pavement. But that I didn't have any of that.
Go get a garden hose. Yeah. I mean, we can do movie magic, right? We can make it rain whenever we want.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do it, but I could tell it that it could go ahead and add those elements if it wants to.
And that's when we start getting into the
generative AI.
Yep, and the AI. That's when we start getting into the very big gray area between what is real and what is not. Because we've taken a component that is real. It's a photograph. And we've converted it now and played with it. There are some people that do use AI as an add-on to it. So there is a photographer that I'm aware of, and I cannot remember his name for the life of me, back in Colorado, who he takes some incredible pictures of landscapes, and then he AIs the sky to whatever fits his vision for whatever the landscape was. And it was a great concept. But he very much says from the very beginning, the photograph is AI assisted, as he calls it. The sky is not the correct sky for this point. But even if he didn't say that, you would look at it and go, this is an incredible shot. There's also another photographer who does some amazing photography that has actually been accused of doing AI for his imagery, but doesn't. He is such a good photographer. His name is Lars, and back in Colorado, and he does the most amazing work. And this is almost all straight from camera work that he does. And his photographs, people were saying, this is all AI, this is all AI. And he would upload the originals that were almost identical to the edits. And he's like, cool, prove it's AI. And I absolutely love how his photography is so perfect that it gets brought up as, oh, this must be AI.
Yeah. So we'll do one more quick one here before we take a break. I'm going to do, and this time I actually exported this the shot, because what it was doing was it was grabbing that raw that was still on the in camera there and everything.
Okay.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grab one that I actually just exported and saved to my device here and see what we can get on this one. I love this shot because, yep, here we go. This one's substantially stronger artistically than the first image. It already has a narrative. Cold analysis, what works well? The empty stroller, the anchor of the image, because this is outside of a bar.
Yeah,
like we were just driving by and there was just an empty stroller outside of the bar.
Yep. Just sitting there.
Just sitting there. It was, like I said, it was empty. It was oh, come on, get out of the zoom there. There we go. All right. Creates an immediate psychological question. Why is it alone? Is there somebody nearby? Was it abandoned briefly or permanently? Yep. The ambiguity gives the photo emotional gravity. Black and white choice, good overall. The monochrome has treatment of texture, age, isolation, and documentary feel. Color probably would weaken the mood unless handled very, very carefully. The roof lines and porch create strong structural framing. The stroller interrupts that rigid geometry.
Yep.
A hard sunlight creates dramatic contrast with strong shadows. Environmental storytelling details quietly add weathered facade, utility pole, empty bucket, old signage, quiet parking area. This feels economically and socially specific without stating it outright. What we could do to improve: crop the left edge. The utility pole dominates. Too much attention. Reduce the dead asphalt. The bottom right foreground has a large, empty, bright area with little information. Stroller placement. Right now, the stroller is close to ideal, but slightly too low left.
Yeah, go back and move the stroller.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what I could do is I could crop it in the way that it's trying to tell me to do it. Kind of thing. So this is what we're talking about when you use AI.
Boy, it really gives you a lot of details.
It gives you a lot of details and everything. You can use it. Even tells you like you can use like a analog film emulation to simulate the HP5 grain or a softer highlight roll off, or even some slight halation as well too. Man, ChatGPT is just really loving those $5 words today.
Oh yeah. Well, when we come back from this next commercial break, we got a couple of mine I believe we're gonna run through.
Yep.
Now mine are, I purposely grabbed snapshots.
Yep.
These are not professional at all. And it's gonna be really interesting to see what ChatGPT says about those, because they're not anywhere near what a photographer would normally work with.
Yep.
But as a parent and a dog owner, definitely this is what we want to work with.
Yep.
So we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to be right back on Boca and Mocha. And we're back here on Boca and Mocha. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us as we go down the AI rabbit hole today. I think we've got a couple of images from me that are snapshots. These are just what a parent would normally have on their cell phone. We want to see what ChatGPT can tell us to be able to make this photo better. And these are straight from the phone. These have no edits to them whatsoever.
This isn't done on a professional camera or anything like that. So.
No, it's done with the iPhone, whichever one this one is. I don't even know. I've lost count.
Okay. All right. So, we've got a picture of Khaleesi, which is, of course, Christopher's dog. And we're going to we're just going to do a straight feed into it with no prompts whatsoever, and just give us an overview on what the analysis is going to be. Okay, this image is gentler and less psychologically charged than the previous one. Previous one being the empty stroller in a bar parking lot. But it has a strong observational documentary quality. Cold analysis, immediate read. A dog asleep in midday light behind a chain link fence. The mood is quiet, warm, slightly lonely, but not bleak. The strongest emotional element is vulnerability, exposed posture, closed eyes, isolated resting spot, containment implied by the fence. It feels candid rather than constructed. What works? Subject simplicity. Dog is immediately readable. No confusion about focal object, which is good. The curled body shape creates a strong visual mass against a horizontal ground plane. Light quality. The sunlight is soft enough to preserve the fur detail while still creating shape. The highlights on the dog's back give dimensionality without blowing out badly. Color palette, muted greens, tan and gold fur harmonize naturally. Nothing color-wise is fighting for the image. The emotional tone, this image succeeds mainly because it feels unforced. It has stillness, heat, afternoon quiet, rural suburban realism. The weakest point of the shot is the fence dominance. The chain link fence is the largest issue. It overlays the entire image and flattens the depth. Instead of framing the dog, it visually traps the viewer too. And some better options: shoot through the fence with a wider aperture. Place the lens closer to the fence so it disappears. Change the angle to avoid direct mesh overlap. There's also background clutter. The wire, coil, and structure in the upper right is distracting. They pull attention from the dog because they have hard geometry, higher contrast edges, and unusual shape. A tighter crop would help this significantly. Foreground noise, the bricks and weeds at the bottom edge create visual chatter. Not enough to ruin the shot, but enough to dilute the calmness. In lower angle and shallower depth, of the field would simplify this subject placement. The dog is almost centered horizontally. The image would gain more energy if the dog occupied the lower left or lower right thirds.
Yep.
All right. So what it's trying to do there is it's trying to get you into like kind of like a rule of thirds or like maybe even like a Fibonacci spiral kind of situation.
What's really funny is the fact that it says you need to be through the fence.
Mm-hmm.
The fence is the background. I'm taking this picture from inside my yard. So if we pull up the picture onto here,
there you go.
The fence is behind the dog, not
clearly,
in front.
obviously behind the dog.
So, and it's just from the yard taking that picture, and she's just chilling, having a good old time.
So just to go to show that AI still can't quite read like the actual scene in as concise way as we think that it would be able to.
So, and that's the part that is really kind of cool to see. There are still some limitations to what the AI can be able to accomplish. Now, again, this is just the cold read. If we were to edit this, make this, I mean, I would have right off the bat, I would have cropped it. And actually what I would have done is I would have cropped it where if she wasn't in the center like she was, she would have been in that lower right-hand side because as her eyes are still closed, it would give a leading line out away from her face of, well, what's beyond her? What's out there? The other thing that I would also do is I would use I'm going to mispronounce it, the Gaussian blur, to be able to give the edges a little bit more of a blur to remove that sharpness of the fence while still keeping that picture intact.
Yeah, almost kind of like a vignetting kind of way.
Yeah, kind of like a vignette, but it's more of a, instead of darkening, it blurs it as it comes in from the outside. It doesn't blur the whole image, just blurs in the edges.
Right.
And that right there, those two edits would have changed that image just huge. If we upload that to AI, it probably would yell at me going, well, the fence is out of focus. The dog's not centered. But now we've got one more picture that we want to work with on here. That everybody who's got kids probably hears this word all the time.
Lizard. Here we go. We're going to have it analyze.
And except for he's not a lizard, he's a gecko.
But
so he's the gecko from Gecko.
All right, so you're getting some compliments here from Chat GPT. This is the most technically successful image so far.
And it's just a picture from the phone. It's a snapshot with Jen.
It has a clear subject, shallow depth separation, and immediate visual engagement. Cold analysis. Close-up reptile portrait like a leopard gecko. Is it correct?
Yes, it is.
It is. Resting on a human hand inside of a pet reptile retail environment.
Oh my gosh, AI got it right.
Yep. The image works because the eye is sharp, the textures are tactile, and the expression reads as unexpectedly calm, almost smiling. There's immediate charisma. What works strongly, the eye focus. The eye is the image. The sharpness lands exactly where it should be. Texture rendering, excellent tactile quality, granular skin, soft hand texture, glossy eye surface. Subject isolation, the depth of field separates the gecko from the background effectively. The terrarium sign becomes contextual rather than dominant. In the color relationship, the palette is cohesive. Warm skin tones, creamy yellow reptile tones, and muted greens and reds behind. What are you doing? Oh, we're highlighting apparently. Anyway, emotional accessibility. The reptile photo can feel alien or clinical. This one feels more personable because it's low angle, close framing, relaxed posture, slight mouth curve. The weaknesses, the background signage, the terrarium sign, and price are a little distracting.
AI just praised it and said it was bad at the same time.
Yep. Better approach, either crop tighter or open aperture to obliterate the background details.
Obliterate. Oh boy.
The composition tightness. The left side crops the body abruptly. The frame feels slightly cramped. And it just praised the crop.
All of this.
It praised all of this as this felt more intimate and personal. So,
and now it's saying it's wrong.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Highlight handling. The skin on the hand is somewhat bright relative to the gecko's face, even though it just said
this is the best composition between the two.
Yeah, even though it just said that like the warmth of the hand contrasts well with the cool of the gecko.
So this really proves the binary capability of what AI has for this, because of the fact that it's not, like you said, the artistic style that it's looking for.
Yep.
So, like we said at the beginning of the episode, we really want to urge caution when using AI in this way. This is what Chat GPT says. I'm sure that if we threw the same images through Gemini, we'd have similar but yet different results.
Yep.
And at the same point, you take it to any other AI system, you're going to have differences. But because of the fact that Chat GPT is the most, I guess, easy to identify name out there for AI, that's why we chose to work with it for this episode. And it proved exactly what we said at the very beginning of AI is binary. It's either good or it's not good. And that last image just proved it's both good and not good at the same time.
It didn't know where to settle, is what it was. It was trying to like be analytical but also creative at the same time, and it just wasn't quite hitting it.
It's Schrodinger's cat for AI. That's what it is.
Schrodinger's lizard.
Schrodinger's lizard. There we go. That's the name of our episode, I guess. Schrodinger's lizard. A lot of people are going to be worried about that. But, well, sadly, we're at the end of our time for today's episode. But again, tune in next week. We're going to have something new coming up again next week. New topics. We do have, I know in a few weeks, Brooke's going to be returning back with us as well. So that's something else to look forward to. Yep. But we're super excited for those changes.
We've got it again. If you can see our Boca and Mocha Facebook chat that only the 4 or 5 of us are in, we've got ideas coming down the pipeline.
Absolutely. So be sure to subscribe to us here on our channel and share it with anybody that you guys know that would be interested in learning more about photography. But until next time, we thank you guys so much for joining us. Keep shooting, keep sharing.